The posterior tibialis, the flexors of the toes. These are all very common areas where runners especially, but other people as well, can have trigger points. Now, where these muscles are, we're looking at the front of Gary right now. If we're looking at his right leg, basically on the back side, very, very, very close to the bone. It's very deep in the leg. You'll find these muscles. You can actually usually poke them with your finger. If you find the bone, kind of go back till where the muscles start. You can feel the drop off from the hard bone to something softer. Many times you'll feel a very tense muscle back here, and it could be one of the toe flexors, could be the posterior tibialis, could even be a spot on the soleus that you technically missed before. But I'm going to show you the way that I usually treat these myself. Again, 30 seconds of pressure on each tender location, followed by a little bit of massage after. To treat the muscles on the inner part of the calf, the toe flexors, the posterior tibialis, what I would recommend is to put your leg up into this position if you can. If you are comfortable sitting cross-legged, feel free. If you are comfortable sitting cross-legged, this works out very well because your knee is usually supported on your opposite foot, so it gives you a firmer base to work off of. I'm going to take the lacrosse ball. I'm going to put it on the bone and roll it to the inner part of my calf until I feel a muscle that's tender. I'll hold the pressure there for 30 seconds. And I'll do that by basically working my way down the calf and just repeating. If you can't sit in this position, because your hip is too tight. Many times you need to strengthen your stomach and your back and your hips. But if you need to do this now and don't want to strengthen your back and stomach and hips, what you could do again is use the theracane in whatever sort of supported and convenient position you can. Maybe you can just support your leg on a chair or something like this. You can use one of the ends of the theracane to basically find a tender spot. You push in, you make sure that you're relaxed again, hold for 30 seconds, and basically, again, work down your calf in the same way. If you're going to use if you need to use the cane for this, then what I would recommend is when you do the massage, you're going to just kind of stroke yourself up and down, whether you find it more convenient to use a straight pokey end or the curved end, whatever works better for you. If you are able to sit cross-legged or put your leg like this comfortably, what you do with the ball is basically just kind of roll it up and down. You can do circles with it. Whatever you do that massage for about 30 to 60 seconds, and you'll find that the effects last generally longer than if you just hold a sustained pressure by itself. The peroneals, the peroneus tertius, longus, and brevis. They connect to 3 different points on the foot, but they all start in the same general area, which is on the outside part of the lower leg. They're important for controlling pronation of the foot, stabilizing the first toe, and help with like pushing out to the side if you're running on a hill. So on Gary's right leg here, basically the peroneals live somewhere on the outside of this bone here. So that's where we're going to be applying pressure. This bone's not a super thick bone. It is supposed to be fairly tough, but if you're older, have osteoporosis, be careful how much pressure you're applying in this area because those muscles are just underneath it, just over the bone. To treat the peroneals, I recommend lying on your side with a lacrosse ball or a ball underneath the outer part of your leg. You can just basically roll your leg back and forth until you find that tender spot. I already found one. If I apply my top leg on my bottom leg, the one that I'm treating, I find that this is almost too uncomfortable where I can't keep those muscles relaxed. So I'm going to not do that. Again, you must keep the muscle relaxed that you're trying to treat. I'm going to relax onto the tender spots, up and down the leg, any that I find. I'm going to put it a little bit lower here. Right there I found one. But as many tender spots as you find, relax onto them. Now if I apply the weight of my top leg on my bottom leg now, this is something I can tolerate, so I'll leave my top leg on my bottom leg. I'm again trying to keep my foot, ankle, and knee relaxed. After you apply pressure for 30 seconds to all the tender spots, you can basically just kind of roll your leg back and forth by bending and straightening your knee to massage that muscle on the ball for about 30 seconds to a minute.